What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. If you enjoy the Scale News Update regularly, hit the like button. We're back into a busy week of news, so let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, we have the official launch of the JConcepts 1985 Ford Aerostar. This body looks freaking cool. I love it. I know it's a monster truck thing. That's why they did it. That's why it's there, but it's cool regardless. Now, we actually talked about this when Tower Hobbies leaked this in episode 286. That was back in November of last year. Tower Hobbies always sneaking out products before they're supposed to. This was no different, but like 4 months early. So anyway, it's cool. Obviously, monster truck people will use it for a reason. It is a shorter wheelbase than what you would use on a scale truck, unless you're doing something pretty small scale, which could still be pretty cool also. But if you're into it for either reason, go check out JConcepts. It's available on their site now. And in the opposite of a short wheelbase, Proline is teasing a new Coyote Grande. That is the SUV style version of the Coyote body. The caption says really, really big. So I'm guessing that Grande means not only the body style, but also the body size, and that we're gonna see this fitted onto an SCX6. We already have the cliffhanger version, which the Coyote is very similar, just narrower usually. This looks like it's gonna give you a new large scale body option for the SCX6. Could be cool. It does show that the interior is in there. I'm guessing that means that they're carrying over the interior from the JL, at least my guess. I'll be interested to see that because I doubt that they're doing a whole new interior, but I could be wrong. Either way, looking forward to seeing what we've got ahead. And speaking of Proline by The Fire, a little bit more has been getting cooked up on that recently. They had another post not too long ago. That's coming up at the end of September down in Southern California. Same place as always, Horseman Center Park, down there near Apple Valley, Victorville, all of those. But they did post up. They've got the theme for it, the Old West, Wild West. Same, right? I think. Either way. Could be a good theme. I think that is fitting for down there as well, being that we're at the Horseman Center Park. So regardless of the theme that they choose, that event is always fantastic, and I'm super looking forward to it. Hopefully, a number of you will be making it out there as well. Reefs RC did another limited edition servo run. This is the Raw 500 Pink Edition. Now, these came out late last week, I believe, and they are limited. I did check with them. There is some left at the time of this filming, but I don't necessarily expect that to last all that long. So if you're looking for something pink and raw and it's not a steak, Reefs can probably be the best option to search for safely. And then in the old news update, there's a few re-releases that just got announced. Tamiya has got two. They've got the Avante 2011 edition buggy being re-released, and the one that is more scale, the Fast Attack vehicle 2011 as well. Fast Attack, that one's always been pretty cool. The Avante, I'm sure that there's many who will enjoy it or who like it or have fond memories of it. I'm not sure, but I think the Fast Attack is the cooler version. And then also Team Associated re-releasing the RC10, this time in the 40th anniversary edition. RC10 people will likely know all of the minor differences and colors and stamps and where they're putting a number and whatnot of why this one is different than the last 10 of them. But if you want to grab another one, this is on sale. It's a pre-order. I don't know that there's a limit of one per person, but it doesn't appear to be a limit on how many are available. So I think that they're just taking your money now, and then they're going to build however many people order. So if you want another one for the shelf, or you're going to try and scalp something, get your orders in. Last week I mentioned the channel membership has been opened on the channel. So that's still going. It is difficult to find on some Apple devices because of some, in-app purchase things that Apple, YouTube whatever. There's a specific link for it. I'll put that below. That is up there now. If you're interested in the channel membership, I'm just doing some behind the scenes videos and more in-depth stuff on the projects that I'm working on at the time. I think we're at 5 or 6 behind the scenes videos right now. If you're interested, there's a little bit more to see there. If you're interested, I put that link in the description below. Thank you to Satisfatory Jerky for sponsoring this month of the Scale News Update. If you, like most of the rest of us, enjoy jerky, not just beef jerky, but some others as well, go check out satisfiedjerky.com. They've got a ton of flavors. Original to like super spicy, some sweet and spicy, the whole range. You can use the codes below to save yourself 10%, and also you can use code Cowboy10 to save 10 additional % off of any of the Cowboy jerky. So also any of the orders that come in this month that use the code will get entered for a chance to win one of the Tama and KO House collaboration 164 scale cars. So if you're interested in any of that or want to support Satisfied Jerky, follow the link below, use the codes to save yourself some money. Element released another version of the Enduro platform. This is the Zuul, which they had released before, but with the IFS 2 put underneath of it. And the scratch and sniff version of the body. Comes in a blue color, and you can scratch underneath to something a little bit more rusty looking. Beyond that, the Enduro platform pretty much unchanged. Next, a new one coming from RGT. This is the Intruder. This appears to be a relatively new platform from RGT. Fairly simple overall. It looks like it's got straight axles. It does have a forward mounted motor. It's got an aluminum chassis that's just aluminum rails basically with some remachining on them. But scale details aren't slim. It's got a molded front bumper that's got some guards that follow the front fender line down to the rock sliders on the side. It's got some pretty cool looking mud flaps on the rear, which is different and still kind of cool. Rear bumper as well to go along with that. The body's got a roof rack and a rear little ladder, spare tire mounted to it, door handles, mirrors, and it's got a driver figure inside. So overall details are pretty good. That body style looks pretty good to me. Two-door, isn't there a two-door Land Cruiser that looks kind of like this? I'm not familiar with all the numbers, but I feel like that's where it's from. I'm probably wrong though, as Land Cruisers, again, just not my strong point. But overall, I think it's just pretty good looking. RGT, not super popular in the US, but in other parts of the world, it is very popular. So I assume that this one may do well in those areas. I don't know that it'll be a breakout option here in the States still, but some of you aren't here. Last week I mentioned the addition of the Goat Guns product line to the A-Main site, and I got sucked into with a few of them. But this week now they added a bunch of accessories for the models that they already uploaded. All kinds of things for all of the different models. I already got a few of them here, started building them, having more fun with them than you would expect. But now it may be time to accessorize. So if you're looking for something fun for your desk or a good gift for an enthusiast, I think these are well suited. You go check those out again. TGH has got some new options coming for their universal bumper line. They've added a new stinger option where you can use the thinner 1/8" stinger material. So make that a little bit easier, a little bit more universal for those guys, especially trying to cut some weight. The previous stinger options were made for 3/16 material. Again, now this dropping down to 1/8". And they've also added a new pivot hook option. These are for 3/16 material like the bumper itself. You can put these on a rear bumper, or if you wanted to, you could utilize these on more areas than just a standard bumper. Now, the pivot hook idea, what it's for, is mainly for comp-oriented type things where you're using your winch and trying to loop it over a different area of the vehicle to get a different angle of attack with your winch. Can be very helpful at times. So if that seems fitting to you, you can go check that out over at TGH. And if you're interested in any of that, you can go use code SNU at checkout to save yourself 15% off over at Team Garage Hack. And sneaking in just before I finished filming, the Rlaarlo MK07 had some more details come out. Now, this is the 1/7 scale trail truck that they're releasing. And now, being 1/7 scale, this does make it a little bit smaller than like the SCX6, which would seem to be the closest competitor for it. Now, the SCX6 wheelbase is about 19 3/4. This one is going to be smaller by a decent amount, coming in at about 17.25. So there is a decent size difference between them. Same kind of goes for things like the track width. It's going to be about 2 inches narrower overall, but obviously does have a similar look. We've got the big stainless steel links. This one doesn't have a stamped steel chassis. It's actually got a machined aluminum chassis on it, which is a considerable difference between the two. It does still have all steel gears inside, and some of the initial photo releases of this are a little bit confusing, but after a little bit of clarification, the first round of these, which is going to be limited to 500 units for this first round or first batch, first production of them or whatever, is coming out as a brushed option. Some of their first photos though show brushless, but I believe that's because a brushless version of it is coming later. But the ones that they're talking about now that you're going to be seeing initially are coming with this large brushed motor in there. Even in their material that they posted up with the brush motor, it says it's capable of towing a 1 to 2 ton vehicle across flat ground with that brush motor. It's 140 amp brushed ESC that they're putting in this thing. So on top of that, it's got selectable 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, light kit that's pretty crazy as far as like RGB light kit, as well as, you know, and then on top of like running lights and tail lights and high beams and low beams and turn signals, I'm sure. But it's coming in 5 different colors. One is called like Dinosaur Age, which looks very reminiscent of a very popular movie. And then there's 4 other color options available. You know, yellow, silver, red, and the kind of, you know, army green colors. So lots of options, but again, going to be limited to 500 in that initial run, which I could assume will go fast because from what it sounds like, they're trying to make this a pretty competitively cost, you know, or priced option for it. It'd be interesting to see what that final number comes out to be. I haven't seen that posted anywhere. The radio that they're including has got like a full color screen on it as well. And it also looks like it's a telemetry radio, as it's got the RSSI readout right on there also. And with all of the features that they're putting in there, it would make sense that this has to be a pretty, you know, decent radio. Not sure what the protocol is or who makes the radio, because I haven't seen that model available anywhere else, but it's looking pretty interesting. It looks like it's coming this summer, going to be here soon. Orders are going to be opening up before too long. I'll try and swing back and make sure we cover when the orders are going to be open, because with only 500 being allotted in this first batch, I could see that selling out quickly, being that, you know, Rlaarlo is starting to get a decent reach with some of their new releases. So if you're interested in that, check back here and we'll cover it again, I'm sure. But I'm definitely interested. Looking forward to seeing more information on it. And Wednesday, live stream takeover. Matt is still going to be missing the first portion of the video while he's out doing go-karts. But I've got some new guests again this week. A couple of the guys from Deluxe Fab will be joining in the first portion of the stream. So check that out, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and wherever you may fall in the middle. So come check us out, hang out, chat with the guys from Deluxe and myself. I'm sure they've got something fun to share. But with that, it's going to do it for this week's news topics. Last week we talked about how things seemed a little slow at first, and then this week I had more news topics than I could actually fit in the video and had to trim some down a little bit. But with that in mind, let's play the old like JCPenney catalog game. Out of all of the stories that we talked about in this week's news, which one are you most interested? Which one do you want? If you get one free, which of the choices are you picking? I'm interested to hear what makes the cut. Vintage fan, big scale stuff, monster trucks, whatever it may be. Put yours below. And if you're not interested in any of them, Xbox or PlayStation. With that, as always, thanks for watching the Scale News Update. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already. Consider joining the channel membership if you're looking for some more content. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. This looks to be a relatively new platform.
Alright, there's a goddamn pterodactyl on the ceiling right now.
This appears to be a relatively new platform from RGT. It is